So you must have heard the news that many corporations like Amazon and Indian software vendor TCS has let many employees go because they are now using AI. And another news is that has spread as wildfire is like AI can now code. Well, yes, it can. And here it is. And here I'm using Claude to generate a dashboard. And here it goes. Now, when a layman professional adds these two facts, layman professional, what I mean by that is we all are professionals, we are not very well conversant with IT. So people who are not very well conversant with IT but are still professional in some other field like lawyers, etc., I'm calling them layman professionals. Now, when any layman professional add these two facts, his conclusion is that the software engineers are being fired because now AI can code. And in the future, the role of software engineers will not be required. This is the AI salesman pitch that I am here to debunk. Now, first of all, let's see what is software development. At the heart of this overzealous conclusion is an assumption that all a software developer does is code. Let's first go over what all things a software developer has to do as a part of their job. Now, step one. Any IT project starts with somebody telling a software developer what to do. This is what we call business requirements or a user story. Now, what will be the next step? So step two, now the software developer is assigned one of the user stories, which I said receive a payment instruction. Now, he or she cannot start coding as of now. The reason is that he still doesn't have a complete picture of the scope. So his next step is to have a conversation with a business person to get actionable details from an IT perspective, from a software developer perspective. Now, this is a substantial time-consuming exercise. And here is an example as a result of such laborious and mind-swapping conversation with a business owner, what we call a business product owner or a business owner. Now, this is what the screen you are seeing is what we call scope and what is not in scope and what are the non-functional requirements. I'll not elaborate on it. The point of showing this thing is to show you that a software developer still has to invest time to work out these details before he at all put his fingers on the keyboard. Now the next step, which is step three. Now developer has fair idea about the scope, he can start designing now. Now do not confuse design with architecture. They are distinct activities. By design, we mean a formal or informal way of organizing your code in modules and functions and defining interactions between them. Without going into details of how this designing is done, here is an example of output of what a developer produces even before he starts coding. See this picture. Now this is what we call a sequence diagram. Now please do not try to validate this diagram or logic against business requirement in step one. For full disclosures, this is generated by Mermaid script using Claude 3 and rendered by a Mermaid AI editor. The point being that it is a software developer who spend his time and experience to get agreement on what is to be coded in collaboration with business owner and his architect or IT lead. Now step 3 being done, let's go to the next step, which is 4. And now the coding starts. For the sake of simplicity, I'll accept that this part has been fully automated due to AI tools like Copilot and Claude or Google's Gemini. Though the reality is that in software developer is still responsible for the code released in production, and there are serious doubts because all hallucination AI modules does and the concerns about security. Anybody can hack your AI module or what is generating your code, and then you can inject a piece of code which can be security threat to your enterprise, and that's the reality. Many actors from China and North Korea does that. So step 5, which is once your coding is done, you are doing testing, and I'll still assume that the most of part can be automated except for human validations that software developers still need to do. Whatever automation has been done needs to be validated. Now step 6 is deployment, which has been quite a bit already automated by CI/CD, which has been existing in industry for last decade or so. And The last thing, what all glues all of the above steps is project management activities like sprint planning, daily stand-ups, sprint reviews, retrospectives, and backlog management. And these take considerable time from software engineers since all of them are human interactions. These rituals are developer nightmares. I don't mind me saying that. They're designed to speed up software delivery, but they end up adding yaws to the process. Please don't quote me. I strongly wish AI would come up with some automations of this overarching process of project management. Now, once you have seen all the steps that a software developer has to do, one before he starts and the coding is released into production, now we are ready to estimate how much effort is still manual despite AI in picture. So let's cover each row one by one. Now, business requirements are 100% manual because this is the time that each software developer has to interact with various stakeholders, product owners, architects, everybody to understand what is to be done. This is kind of a, though it's a brief phase, but it's very important. This cannot be automated. This is because this is more of a human interaction. The second one is scope, not in scope NFRs. Most of the, and this is a very important phase of any IT project, since the success or failure of the project usually depends upon how detailed you go into what has to be done and what is not to be done. And this again is a manual effort, 100% human interaction between software developers and whosoever is interested in the project. Usually business owners, managers, and architects and leads type of folks participate in this activity. Designing is what software developers do by themselves or in collaboration with their technical leads. What that means is defining what are the modules, how to break your code into modules and functions, and how do these modules and functions interact with each other. And this is, all I'm saying is 90% manual because this more comes from a software developer's experience. AI tools can suggest modules, yes, they can define what module should be, what function should be, but ultimately that is what has to be accepted by a software developer, has to be validated. So this again is a very human intensive phase, since this is not only to be defined, but again needs to be verified or kind of approved with your technical peers, your managers and your architects. And next step is coding, which what developers can peacefully do on their own. All I'm saying is that, and I agree that 60% of it can be automated, considering AI tools can pull a lot of code from GitHub nowadays. But again, my hunch is that 40% of this effort will still remain manual, because even though AI will churn out code, it is the software developer who has to own it, who has to understand each module, he has to understand each function, and he has to validate that everything that is churned out by an AI tool works with what is given to him, what the scope or the requirements were given to it. Whatever happens, at the end of the day, it's the software developer who's responsible for what goes in production, and he's answerable to any success or failures. Any bug that happens in the middle of the night, it is a software developer who wakes up, no AI tool, Claude or Gemini or Copilot are going to take that responsibility. Testing, I still think that 80% can be automated, since test cases, boundary cases, all are being written by AI tools nowadays. But again, you need a software developer to validate what has been written or whether it has been correctly validated or not. Likewise, deployment is, and I believe it's 80% automated, not because of AI, but CI/CD tools have been existing in industry since last 10 years. So, I mean, this remains as it is today. And the last row, PM activities, and I would say that these are 100% manual, because it's more of a human interaction between software developer and his scrum master or a project manager and other folks in his team. And this certainly cannot be automated. I mean, I wish it can be automated, but I don't see that. Now, if we total it out, the whole green column, it adds up to 63%, which implies that 63% of any software development time is still manual time from a software developer point of view. And that is what I'm concluding. Despite our generous weight given to the AI tools for each phase in SDLC, the lowest estimate for manual effort required by the software developer is still 63%. Now do register the fact that no enterprise has reached 60% automation in code generation or 80% in testing yet, despite developers getting access to code generating tools like Copilot and Claude. And I have not yet discussed the possibility of what happens in maintenance, which I believe will be heavily human intensive, and it's a cane of one itself. So I hope you got fair idea of how much effort software developers still require despite introduction of AI tools in a corporate, in an enterprise system. So don't worry, AI software developers will always be required. AI tools are just another step in automation, which has been going since last 20 years. And I don't see it as some kind of a magical thing that has happened overnight. It's a result of years of effort by people, not by, also on the one hand by the AI companies who are creating this model, but as well as the millions of lines of source code that software developers have deposited in GitHub and other repositories on which these AI tools are working to predict the next possible syntax. Thanks for watching.